To me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second,
everybody's happy when victims of crime are okay. Crime topped the list at midterm congressional races of things people do not like and they want it to stop. Second only to the economy. Nobody likes a bad economy. People like having their money. And nobody likes crime. Crime actually costs consumers quite a bit of money. So, when I say Mr. Perry is a very hated man, and that he gets told on because everyone is sick and tired of his crime, that's what I mean. And that people are okay, are happy when I'm okay. No normal person's mind even goes where his goes. Or Mr. Roberson. Mr. Roberson just got recorded several hours ago talking to a would-be kidnapper again. And the guy said, this is Cynthia Ortiz, these are the Charles Perry and David Roberson stalker and human trafficking podcast. These guys sold me to a guy in Houston named Larry who's a realtor. Most victims don't know that beforehand. I know that beforehand because they're under investigation and they refuse to believe that, and that's fine. They're calling all around trying to find out who they are. It is a need to know. You're flashing a lot of money. Somebody told you, whoever it is, has a lot of power because nobody's talking. You might be getting lied to sometimes. You might be talking to the guy, and he's lying to you. They are keeping this under wraps. It's for a reason. For a reason. They're not talking to anybody about it. So, but you need to understand that this is important people, or they wouldn't be able to keep it under wraps this long with the amount of money you're flashing around for a bribe offer. If you'll tell us who these guys are, we'll give you a fuck ton of money. And nobody's taking it, and nobody's calling you back. Why might that be? It is January 10, 2024. So, Mr. Roberson and a guy, would-be kidnapper, are talking about where I work, when I work, blah, blah, blah. Run in, grab her, run out, kidnap her. We have to get her delivered. All week, pull her over, tell her there's a court order to take her car away, and then she'll go. Mr. Perry has cloned my phone. The guy is as weird as it gets. Weirdest of the weirdos. Cloned my phone and types in it constantly. I can't do anything without him typing over my typing. He's either asking, is this guy a leak, or is that guy, is it Jim? Is it Al? Is it your mom? Is it your kids? Is it your family? Do they know something to leak, Mr. Perry? Because I never introduced you to my family. I would never have taken you around my family. I moved 2 times. I left Lubbock in 2013 because of your stalking. And you creeped me out, and you make me sick at my stomach. And I wanted very much to get away from that and to not have a conflict and no scandal. So I left Lubbock in November 2013, moved to the Dallas area. Here comes Charles, stalking, harassing, threatening, interfering with commerce, interfering with contracts, calling everybody I know, having his little meetings, gaslighter this way, gaslighter that way, let's make a problem, let's cause drama. Then I left there and I moved to Oklahoma, home where my family is, to be with my family and have nothing else to do with you, sir. No conflict, no strife, no drama, no problems, no more Charles Perry. What's he do? Comes to Oklahoma and harasses and harasses and threatens and bothers and bothers and harasses and makes a buffoon of himself. A complete ass buffoon of himself, and embarrasses the hell out of everybody. Mr. Perry, by the way, has been diagnosed with Huntington's disease. It is not Tourette's. He's lying. He's telling people, I don't have Huntington's, I have Tourette's. If you talk to the guy for more than 2 minutes, you can tell there's something wrong with him. Huntington's disease causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. So simple concepts that we all picked up on in daycare. When you touch a hot stove, you get burned. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Every day, all day long. You got nothing else to show for your life for the past 10 years, but you're caught. People don't like your crime. You're making everybody very, very uncomfortable, sir. Very uncomfortable. We get the help because of it. You get told on because of it. This is not rocket science. It's been this way every day for a decade. So our guys get them record Roberson tonight. The guy says, if I'm going to go in there and grab her up and kidnap her, first I need to make sure this is where she works. Number 2, I got to make sure she's there. Number 3, I got to know who she is. I can't walk in and go start asking around, who's this girl? And is she here tonight? And I need to know, does she have a gun? And where is it? I don't want to get shot because I'm going to try to kidnap her. And I need to know how quickly the local police department, which police are over that place, and how fast do they respond. I need to know all that before I do this. So we got all that on wire. When it comes in on wire, it's recorded. You are also told that you're whining. She's getting that information illegally. And the guy said, first of all, you don't know how she gets it. Okay? Or they get it, and then they give it to her. When you go to jail, and then you have a trial, they have to tell you how they got the information. Right? You can challenge it on, we think it was collected illegally. We think it was obtained illegally. Do that to your heart's content. They never have to tell you how they gave it to me. Never. When we get in intel, we can't wait to see if David is going to have me kidnapped to prove if it's good intel or bad. It's just intel. It's indicating that there's a danger to my safety and well-being, and I have the legal and the moral right to protect my safety and my well-being. You don't have the legal or moral right to pose a danger to it, or to me, or to go to my work and to kidnap me, or to traffic me, or to make me lie. So how dare you? You're caught specifically when you do it to me. You have been every day for a decade. Nobody is this mentally slow. Nobody. You have to want that or you'd stop. Everybody knows when you drive through Yale, Oklahoma, and I think Henrietta too, you slow the fuck down. You go 5 miles under the speed limit because those guys have nothing to do. Not a damn thing except ticket people. And so you go just a little over, they will pull you over and write a ticket. Now, if you continue to drive through those towns at 90, and just run around with your finger up your nose going, I can't believe they gave me a ticket, then what's wrong with you? What kind of mental slow are you? What's wrong with you? When you go through those towns, if you speed, you're going to get pulled over. You're going to get a ticket. There's like 5 cops in Yale. They have absolutely not another damn thing to do but write tickets. And they do. And everyone knows it. So either you go on the turnpike and avoid Yale altogether, or you slow the fuck down. So you can't go through there knowing that there's a chance that is very high that you're going to get a ticket over and over and get ticketed and then complain. You asked for it. You knew. You did it anyway. You can't touch a hot stove and cry and whine that you got burned. You can't do the crime to me and then cry and whine that you got caught. McNamara email was 2015. And it said, Mr. Perry expressed intent to arrange a false arrest and coerce me and offer enticements and threaten me and intimidate me because he got caught stalking me. This is not his first rodeo. He's done this before. But nobody knew until he did it to me because he threatens because he intimidates and he bribes. And what I told him is, you've done this all your life. You've gotten away with it all your life. Not this time. And he knew when I said that, I already had the McNamara email and I already had the Fabian puzzle. And we were already starting to quote him every day, all day long. Initially, they did not want him to know there was a investigation at all. They didn't want him to know. But because the guys were like, he is talking about murdering you so much, I think that he needs to know there is an investigation to deter that. We don't want you ended up dead, so let's let him know, but nobody's to tell him who we are. Because we can get a fuck ton of information when he doesn't know who we are. He's not going to call us 50,000 times a day and harass us and bother us. We have work to do. Put him in jail. So we're not going to be taking his phone calls. Period. We're not doing it. We're not going to argue with the man who he just talks in circles for hours, wastes everybody's time because he's not understanding a word you say. There's something wrong with him. At the time, we didn't know it was Huntington's. We all did know something is wrong with him. You have to say the same thing over and over and over, and he acts like he has no idea what you're saying. It's just not clicking. So something's wrong with his mind. That's a long time ago. We found out he had Huntington's disease because somebody got very pissed off at what he was doing to me, and he said, Charles does not want Cynthia to know he's got Huntington's disease, and I'm sick and tired of him tormenting her and taunting her and torturing her and brutalizing her life and trying to ruin her. So make sure she finds out. This is what's wrong with him. He has Huntington's disease, and he's telling people he's got Tourette's. He does not have Tourette's. He has Huntington's disease. He told us. And he told us make sure she doesn't find out. And it pissed me off. Make sure she does find out. So we are letting everybody know. This is what he really has. Because he doesn't get to do that. This is a civilized society. We don't act like that. Okay? Everybody's sick of you. And Mr. Perry, so he's cloned my phone. He's typing in my phone. We have a court order. I've not seen the court order, and I don't care. I really don't fucking care. We won. We have a court order. He actually thinks that I'm going to go, oh, okay, now I'll be trafficked and raped. Human trafficking means your body is going to get violently violated, raped. And if you don't agree to go, perform a sexual act, much of which is not normal stuff. These guys don't have a girlfriend for a reason. They're not doing normal sex stuff. They're doing weird shit that most normal people can't even think of. Our mind doesn't even go there, much less do it. Weird shit. Weird shit. Pedophilia, necrophilia. These are sex crimes. Bestiality. They do weird shit. That's why they don't have a girlfriend. They gotta buy a woman. They're sickos. They're sex criminals. They're sex offenders, allegedly. So, what he does is, he farms out, pimps out women, and he makes a bundle while they get raped. We've already discussed this. Because you ruined my college education temporarily. Because you did something there. You butt into something that was none of your business. At all. That made a leak mad, and the guy told our guys, if we talk about this, we're dead. But we can't lose her. We can't. She's our Katniss. We can't lose her. We cannot let him ruin her. We need her. She's changed everything. And I promise you, TPD does not want her to know that. Those guys are pathetic pussies, and they do not want her to know this. She has changed everything. It's so much better than it was before she got here. Don't take for granted the value of what she's gone through for justice and for the victims. There are kids getting raped at a Houston compound. These guys kidnapped a bunch of women, raped them, got them pregnant. Now they got kids out there, and they're raping them too, and they're pimping them out too. And one of those little kids was getting raped by a John, and he's screaming bloody murder, and the mom is crying. Can't do it. She can't help her kid. I could not even believe it. That place smells like the sewer because those kids are shitting all over the floor, getting sodomized. And they told the mom, quit crying. He'll get used to it. We'll get him a toy. The kid will get used to getting raped by old, fat, smelly, sick, twisted, sex offender pedophiles. Wow. We'll get him a toy. You're asking a child to get used to being raped. I don't even know what to say to that. Where everybody's horrified. Absolutely horrified. So, we got that information. We got y'all talking about Natalie Holloway maybe being there. That you thought Yoron was talking to our guys and told them that he lied to the FBI about killing Natalie. She's not dead. She's at that compound. So our guys are like, put something out about us, about an extraction. We're going to extract her. Then all of a sudden y'all start going, well, gosh, she hasn't gone by Natalie Holloway for years. Will she remember who she is if they go in there and try to get her out? Tim is their pilot. And he then freaks out and he's like, we are going to just grab Cyndi, throw her on my plane. And then he said, what are the guys that are helping her? What are they going to do? I'll turn the transponder off so they don't know where we're taking her. Okay, we got all that. Tim, we got it. If I'm saying it, they got it. When it comes in, it gets recorded as it comes in and transcribed. Okay? They have all that equipment that does all that shit. So, we're not getting it just to do nothing with it, Charles. Delusional. Or David. We're getting it to do something with it. And, so when you taunt me with a court order that I don't have and I don't give a shit about, we've told you over and over and over and over and over. We happen to know you obtained them by fraud. You had 3 chances where I sued you. The burden of proof was on me. And you chickened out. You pussied up. You were a coward. You didn't face me in court like men and go through a jury trial and make me prove what I'm saying is true. You went in and did a backroom deal with the judge. You went duck hunting, specifically duck hunting. Not deer hunting, not rabbit hunting, duck hunting with Judge Cummings. And none of his orders give a reason for his denials. Not one fucking reason. And I think the Supreme Court had said there needs to be a well thought out reason using case precedents in any court order that's given, certainly federal court. And we use the case precedents that are already decided upon. We don't come up with something out of our butt. We look at the facts. We weigh the facts carefully. We use case precedents. We use the law and statute, and then we make a decision. And it's not fair if both parties aren't participating. And you intentionally excluded me. And people have noticed that, sir, more than you want to admit to yourself. You love to bullshit yourself, don't you? You live in an alternative reality. Y'all have your little meeting and you bullshit yourselves and we're all laughing at you. We're like, if they knew what people said behind their back, they wouldn't show their faces in public ever again. None of them would. We get the help. You get told on. That is the results of what you've done. That is all you have to show for the past 10 years of your life. Every time you contact me, we get more. Every day you invade my privacy, we get more. Every day you taunt and harass and threaten me and pressure me and take my money, we get more. Every day Michael Neely sits in jail, we get more. Did you want me to lie about us knowing that he was drugged before anybody else said it? I'm emailing this Florida State's attorney. He was drugged. He didn't do it. And by the way, you didn't give him a full tox panel before Narcan changed the chemistry of his blood. Did you? You didn't properly collect that evidence, so it was degraded. And that's a Brady violation, by the way. The other thing is, he didn't have a mark on him, sir. So, how do you beat somebody to death so badly the ME said it was like he was in a car crash and he died of internal decapitation and have not a mark on you? So, should we lie about knowing he was drugged before anybody else said it, or that it was confirmed in depositions month after we said it? We said it in January, February, and March 2020. Depositions were not taken until May. They weren't put on the docket for public view until June or July. Which of those did you want me to lie about, Mr. Perry? And if you didn't kill Lucky or arrange for that murder, what's it to you if I testify for him? So that's now 4 trials that my testimony is not heard by a jury, sir. So again, and then he's typing in my phone, you can't prove it. They're telling everybody she can't prove it. Well, what's the harm of letting me into court to show evidence I don't have? By the way, I'm not a lawyer, I've not had a lick of law school. You have 5 attorneys who are seasoned. These are not young guys fresh out of law school. They're old farts. They've been at this a while. And you're scared to face me in court like men and then run around lying? She can't prove it. Wow. So the insult to people's intelligence, the irritation with that, is very high. But you do what you do, you say what you say. Okay? But if you expected to type in my phone that you cloned, that means the evidence will be on his phone, not mine. TBD. And it's common. I've shown everybody the videos from the National Stalking Resource Center. Did the use of technology to stalk. Some of this is common sense. You don't need another cop who's maybe an expert in stalking to explain some of this to you. You're cops. I think we expect you to think like cops. That in today's technology, there's going to be more use of that, voyeurism, and cloning phones and hacking phones and all that. There's going to be more use of that in the crime of stalking, and you ought to know that without having to be told. And when you take a police report, you don't give it to the offender. It's supposed to be, by law, confidential. And then you begin the process of collecting the evidence properly and logging it in, cataloging it in, right? And you didn't do that. And now we've lost a police officer, and you know as well as I do who did that. It wasn't Mike. So why is there a cop sitting in jail for a murder we all know he didn't do? Couldn't have done it. And if he didn't do it, I mean, if David and Charles and those guys weren't responsible, Lucius, weren't responsible for that murder, then what do they care what I say? Act showing consciousness of guilt. Rule 404 allows that to be admitted into evidence. So, prove that's not true, Charles. Because from what I've heard your attorneys say is you have to prove she's lying, and she knows she's lying. The burden of proof now is on you. You missed 3 chances to make her prove it, okay? That's on you. That's your problem. But what I'm saying is, again, Mr. Perry, I'm repeating myself. The guys will play intel for me that they get in, especially when it's involving my safety. I'm their witness. They'd like me to be alive when I testify against you in a criminal case, okay? They have an interest in that, in my safety and well-being. Despite your delusion, despite the bullshit you tell yourself, there it is. So, when there's a conversation about me being kidnapped or my car being taken, thinking that I'll go, oh, okay, now I'll be trafficked. Now I'll lie for you. Or get her family to gaslight her. Oh, okay, since you said it, now I'll do it. You're off your nut. And they're going to make sure I know. And when we get it in, it still has to be proven out. Is it true? Is it good intel or bad intel? Is it partly good intel and partly bad? Is it all bad? Is it all good? We're not going to wait until after I'm kidnapped to see. We're not going to wait till after you take my car to see. You were talking about slashing my tires. You were talking about taking out the battery. You've talked about a lot of things. to take my car, thinking I'll call you and go, oh, okay, now I'll be raped, so you can make a lot of money. My answer is no and fuck you. You have a lot of nerve. You were caught beforehand because you're being investigated, dum-dum. That's how they found out Mike was drugged. They're investigating you. The things they find out are coming from an investigation into your crime. So, our guys think like this man.
Let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk.
Alright, he's harassing her. She's screaming, leave me alone, just like I am. Leave me the fuck alone. My guys told you in March 2020, you are not to invade her privacy anymore. You are not to contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form. Directly or indirectly, you leave them alone. And she'd better not be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet. Respect the law and respect her, or I'm going to do it for you. After that, we got your accomplices' names. Right, Bittencourt? Right? We got your code words. We quote you every day. Name one of my guys. Oh, yeah, you can't. Quote one of their meetings. Oh, yeah, you can't. And you act like it's the other way around, and we laugh at you that you're that dumb. And I define how you make me feel, and I'll define how I see you. You don't do that for me. I'll do it myself. Do you understand? I speak for me, no one else. You're not going to get my family to gaslight me and go, oh, okay, since you said it. Fuck you. I told you not to contact my family. The guys told you not to contact my family. You're violating the law. You stop. You stop. You are also told every time you go, oh, it's, not humanly possible for her to have that. And somebody goes, I'm looking at it, so it is. You're awfully slow. I'm looking right at it, so it's humanly possible for her to have it because she has it. You don't know if it's legally obtained because you can't tell me how it was obtained. You don't know what kind of court order they have or what it says or what they took to the judge to get it. Mr. Perry, I asked you not to contact me, and when you do, we make you pay. Okay? We make you pay. We'll see you in court. You're going to go to jail. They're using this for a criminal trial. I told you don't contact me. Don't invade my privacy. You're raping me, and I told you to stop. They told you to stop. Control yourself. I don't want to hear from you. I don't give two fucks what you think. I moved twice, not to ever again have to hear what you think, or what you need, or what you want, or how you feel. And I don't want, nobody understands why you think I want to hear that. I don't want to hear anything from you at all. I don't like you. You're rejected, and you're told on. Everybody's sick and tired of you. You're bothering me, and I want you to stop. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Fuck off.
Talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Okay, since you seem not to get it the first time people say it like the rest of us can, I'm going to repeat this guy for you one more time. I don't want to hear from you. I don't like you. Whatever you got in your head is all in your head. It isn't real to me at all. You're an imposition. You're a burden. I don't want to hear from you. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you want. You're bothering me, and I want you to leave me alone. What I want is for you to be gone. There's no hints. There's nothing like that. You're a delusional whack job, and you should have been put in a funny farm about 10 years ago. It's pissing me off that you contact me. I fucking hate it. It disgusts me. You make all my skin crawl, and I want to barf every time you contact me. You're sick. You're a sicko. You don't get to invade my privacy and get away with it. And I told you that in 2016. Not this time. And you're the ones running around going, we're seeing things we've not seen before. This never happened before. I said that in 2016. I'll say it again, since you got to have everything repeated 100 times. Not this time.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me...
Alright, so there are like a couple things that people have told us Mr. Perry has done that is bizarre and really creeped them out. One of them is they said that when I reject him, which is every day, that he starts pulling his wedding ring off his finger. I'm not in a relationship with Mr. Perry. He has something in his head that's not real to me. So that, and by the way, that's Jacqueline's ring, not mine. There's never been a date. There will never be a date. There's sure as shit not a wedding. Mr. Perry forged a marriage license so that he could get into my private banking and my private information. Right, Lucius? You too? Illegally. And butt into things that don't concern them. And run guys off that I would want to date. I don't want you. I rejected you. Move on. Take your little skirt off. Quit acting like a girl about it. Be a man and move the fuck on. And then, I guess this week he's told somebody, she said forever. No, you imagined that with your whack job problem that you have. What did you tell Jacqueline when you married her? That is who you are married to. That is who you need to be committed to. I don't want you. I don't want you at all. You make my skin crawl. I think you're a weirdo. I think you need it, like I said, you're about 10 years past a good time for the nut house. And a butterfly net. I want nothing to do with you. I moved 2 times to get away from you and have no further contact and no conflict. And everywhere I go, there you are. bothering, harassing, butting into things that are none of your business, causing one big problem after another. Somebody said, I can imagine they have leaks because everywhere Charles Perry and David Roberson go, it's drama and problems, and everything's a thing, and everything's a big mess, and it's not too long, and everybody's broke. And I can tell you, everybody's sick and tired of that. And until they stop, they're going to have leaks where they're in jail, or somebody else stops them if they can't do it by themselves like big boys. Now, this thing that Roberson told a cop, I want her pulled over. I want you to pull her over. I want you to tell her there's an order for her car to be towed, and I have to tell her to call us. I have to have her delivered by Tuesday. This weekend is better, but Tuesday for sure, or the cartel will tear me limb from limb. No one cares. Boo fucking who. You're a grown man. You got yourself in a jam with the cartel. It's your problem. No one owes you help right here, or a crime, or a lie, or a cover-up. You did that by yourself. Act like a man and own it. You're not a man until you own your own mistakes, your own bad decisions, your own problems. You don't put that off on women and children. So what these guys have done also, the man that bought me, Larry, they said Larry and Charles were talking about their a person they think is their woman. They watched Cyndi in her house. They've both formed a relationship with her, watching her on TV. Same as John Hinckley Jr., both of them. She can't see them. She don't want anything to do with them. She doesn't like them. You guys don't fit into my crowd at all. You don't even get close. You're not even close. You're weirdos. I don't do weirdo. I don't do peeping Tom. I don't do canned food guy. I don't do whack job. That's not my thing. I sure shit don't do alleged pedophile and cop killer. Absolutely no way. I'll kick the shit out of you get anywhere near me. If I know it's you, Larry, I'll kick the fuck out of you. And Charles for sure. You get near me, I'll kick the hell out of you. And I won't have any problem doing it. Okay? So he said those two are talking about a woman that it sounds like it's their wife. They're talking about Cyndi. It sounds like they're talking about their wives, and it's a person, two different people with similar attributes, but they're both talking about Cyndi, and the weirdest thing is she can't stand either one of them. They've not been on a date with her. She doesn't like them, either one of them. And they're both talking about her like that's their girlfriend or their wife. It's weird to have to sit there and listen to that shit. It creeps me out. It makes my stomach sick. To have to sit and listen to those two talk about her. She doesn't want anything to do with either one of them. She's a commodity to them. That's all she is. Just a commodity. They're using this romance bullshit as a ruse. They think they're bait, and they're delusional. Both of them. Charles, every time you contact me, we find out more. They make you pay. I don't want to hear it. I don't give two fucks what some whack job like you thinks. I really don't. Why can you not get that? We're sick of it. Nobody understands why you think I care what you think. Did I ask you, Connie? No. I'm sick of hearing it. I don't care what you think. And flashing some court order. Oh, I got a court order. Good for you. They're going to vacate it on fraud, so I really don't care. They know everything you guys have said. We're quoting people testifying falsely. Mike, did you not say, if I need Craig, her cousin, to change his testimony? Because if I can't get her trafficked, I'll lose millions. And so you had him change his testimony, and that backfired on you, right? I guess somebody who heard him, he changed it from whatever to, I wish I had never helped her. My biggest mistake is I should have never helped her when she first moved here. Because that's what you told him to say. Because you made him change it, thinking that would make me go, oh, okay, now I'll be trafficked. And it didn't, and it won't. You're off your nut. You're completely off your nut. We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Dum-dum. You act like you think it's the other way around. I know he said that. And the response to that, to somebody who heard him, said, what a horrible family she has. I think she's better off without them. To do that to her, betray her like that, and to not be there for her, and not tell her he's coming around here. Because what they should have done the first time Charles Perry called them is set her down and say, he's calling us, and here's what he said. Get him on speakerphone, and the whole family go, you do not call us or bother us again. Ever. You piece of shit. You lousy, pathetic piece of shit. Don't call any of us again. Instead, they talked to him behind her back. She slept in a car and didn't eat for 6 months while they had him over for dinner. And he brutalized her life. My family would never do that. Never would they act that way. So maybe it's better she doesn't have to deal with her family anymore. Because all they did is stalk Her&Perry. It sounds like to me. They're in here testifying for him against her. I don't think much of them. I have a very low opinion of her family. Because he just said that. So, my ex-husband, I understood, was helping me when you made it where I couldn't work. We call that interference with commerce with intent to coerce. You're in a lot of trouble for that. How many counts are they going to charge you for that? Huh? Trying to take my driver's license. All we've heard all week is how do we get her driver's license away from her? She knows we want it, so she's it's in my shoe all the time. I sleep with it. Everywhere I go, it's with me because we've heard you talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. Got to get her driver's license from her. Got to get her driver's license. We'll use this forgery and make a passport. We've heard you talking about it over and over and over and over and over. So whatever court order, does the judge know that? Because it's going to be a little bit of a shock when you go to criminal court and a whole bunch of stuff comes out that you did in that court. Believe me when I say they're going to use all the court cases, every single one of them, including traffic court, to build a criminal case against you. Why wouldn't they? Why would they not? It's part of the crime, isn't it? You're using a court order to intimidate me and to try to pressure me and to try to coerce me. And it was a court order you obtained on a fraud. Where are you telling people we got to get him to change his testimony? Because if I can't get her trafficked, I could lose millions. And David, the cartel will tear me from limb to limb. Boo fucking who? We'll get you a tissue. No one cares, David. You know what they care about? Those kids getting raped. And me. Every time y'all make it where I can't eat or can't pay my bills on time. I lose an eyelash because of you, they're going to make you pay. Okay? We've already told you this. I'm repeating myself. We quote you, you're not quoting us. We're naming your accomplices, you're not naming ours. All the guys that are investigating you. You get this all mixed up. We don't even know what to say to that. It's so easy, it's not fair. It's so fucking easy, it's not even fair, David. So we document all this stuff here. Mr. Perry acts like he thinks we've named your people. Mr. Perry, Betancourt. Who's Mr. Betancourt? I'm going to have her car towed and sold. And even though it's not legal, and she won't even figure it out. Right here. 2019, you've been saying that every day. Have you not? Then you threw a brick at me on the freeway, busted my engine into, could have been my head. Then you wrecked it, then you wrecked it again, then you wrecked it again, then you wrecked it again. Always at the wheel. This guy missed, thank God. Now pull her over. This is the McNamara email. I'm going to false arrest her and then coerce her and entice her and threaten her. You've been trying to do it again ever since. That's the puzzle I got in jail. Fabian was the guy I wanted to date, not you. It was never you. You're the butt-in, see, the wannabe. And then you took my taillight out to have me pulled over, and the guys called me and told me. And so I had to change it out. This was lucky. We're getting tired of being asked to pull her over. One guy said, if he was in a bar doing this stuff to her, the bouncers would kick his ass out, so why are we putting up with it? So David calls somebody, pull her over and tell her there's an order to tow her car. And she's to call us. Because if I can't get her delivered, we're going to use taxpayer-funded resources to facilitate delivery of a trafficking victim so that I can make a personal profit. And pay the cartel. Are you in with it? That's your problem, dude. So I wrote the U.S. attorney. They're using cops. They're using taxpayer dollars. Yeah. Did you intercept it? We got one in Tulsa. We got to get her in Texas so we can do more to her. Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, Betancourt, Blankenship, Desiree, Richard, Dickey, Andrew, Lawrence, James, Ruben, Nisbet, Jacob, Gabe, Greb, Tim, Larry, Oscar, Bruce. Who are those people? Beverly. Beverly again. I just want her in jail, so this is over. Wow, Beverly. It won't. Listen to me, Beverly. The guys helping me will go apeshit on you. That you would want me to be raped. That you think when I go and I'm raped, it's over. So you pissed them off. You didn't say it just one time. Twice you said it. I wish you had worn those shoes and this would be over. What shoes? And how do you know what shoes I have? I've not met you that I know of. So how do you know who I am and how do you know what shoes I have? Huh? You mean the shoes that I bought about a year or so after a murder you were trying to frame me for, using shoes bought well after to plan as evidence? Is that what you wanted the shoes for, Beverly? I don't even know you. And you know my wow. The guys helping me will go apeshit on you. Okay? They could not believe you said it not once but twice. Couldn't believe it. What a cold, callous, heartless bitch that woman is. Okay, this was Calvin on the 9th of February. We can't get her kicked out of her home because COVID moratorium, so let's do smoking. 2 days later, on the 15th, or a couple days later, on the 15th, the manager called, and sure as shit, that's what she did. She did exactly what you told her. But we said it before, Calvin. Yeah. This is David threatening to murder me. All of a sudden, we had girls that I work with getting sick too. And you know, there's Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we always get more. I've never helped you. In 10 years, I've not helped you. When you ask me, it is highly inappropriate for you to contact me at all. They will make you pay. They will make you pay. You do not contact me. You contact your attorney if you have a question. And if you want to go on a crazy rant, contact about what you got a court order. Call him. I don't want to hear it. You're paying him to listen to your crazy and to ask questions, so call him. You leave me the fuck alone, weirdo. You leave me the fuck alone. So some of the girls that I start work, there's an individual that worked at Lady Godiva's. You know, it's weird that all of a sudden people I work with now are getting sick. It's suspicious, and I'm going to leave it at that. There's nothing definitive yet, but it's suspicious. And then, I guess the guy said, okay, first of all, you're telling me it's not humanly possible for her to have things like this. Well, I'm looking at it, so it is. You just don't know how. Their intent is that you don't know how. It's a need to know, and it's a police investigation. They don't want you to know how. Second of all, in fact, I don't even know how. I'm not told what they get from leaks or wiretap orders of some sort or some sort. I don't know. I don't care. It's a need to know. I don't need to know that, do I? No, I don't. So he said, and Mr. Perry knows that. I'm not told who your leaks are. Wouldn't help you if I didn't know. I want for you to be gone. So there's no fucking way I'll help you. And yet every day he asks me the same questions. Now, tell me that's not frustrating because he's mentally slow. To ask the same questions in 10 years I've never answered. I have zero motive to help him. Zero. We all want him gone. Mr. Perry took everything I own and everybody I love and everything I care about and everything I worked for. So why in the fuck would I help him? He wants to traffic me so that I'm raped every day, violently raped. Just like those children. Just like those children. And I'm supposed to go, okay, sure. Sure, I'll tell you who your leaks are. What kind of whack job would even ask? I'll tell you what, that gets us a lot of intel that he has the nerve to ask. Wow. Don't bother me the fuck again, whack job. Don't bother me the fuck again, weirdo. So the guy's like, it is humanly possible because I'm looking at it and she has it. It's just you don't know how. And don't come in here and tell me it was obtained illegally when you don't know how they got it. And you may have leaks and you may have a court order and you don't know what the court order says and you don't know what they took to the judge to get the court order. And don't come in here and go, it might be this or it might be that. I can't do anything with might be. Tell me who it is and get me some proof. and she's not going to help you, stop talking to her. Because guess what happens? You piss me off. I said don't contact me, Charles, so shut up and stop contacting me. Get out of my phone. Get out of my phone and get out of my life. This guy is, this is how weird he is. I'm watching Only Murders in the Building. He starts typing on my phone. Is it someone named Putnam? Oliver Putnam, one of the characters? Sure, call everywhere and ask. Yeah, that's it. Why would I hint? Why would I help you? You came up here and you blew my life up and you ruined everything I worked for. You ruined my school. You've ruined my family relationships. You ruined everything. I should have a house about paid for by now and some money set aside. I've got nothing. Nothing. And so fuck you that you think I would help you. They will make you pay for every time you contact me. And I've said that. And you need to start get some help or something. I'm not a special education teacher. I'm all out of puppets and crayons and finger paints, and I don't have any patience for you. I really don't. So it and I guess Mr. Roberson lied and said, I was responding to something else when I said yes, I gave you arsenic. And that's a little hard to believe, since you followed it up with, I can't promise there won't be death and destruction. Notice he didn't say deception, because I said deception too. Notice that word is not in his response. We noticed it. Did you notice it, TPD? Yeah, you got to keep up with us. We're not slowing down for you. Let your life fade away. Just let us kill you. Yeah, I don't think so. So don't tell us this is not a yes to that. You admitted in a text you gave me poison. I didn't get a blood test to make sure. Was it arsenic or was it something else? Yeah, because you obstructed justice and destroyed my evidence, just like you did to Mike. Right? Yeah, that's 2. We spot a pattern the second time you do it. There is an attempted murder twice. One me, one Mike, and then Mike Neely. And then we don't die, so you do a false arrest and fraud in a court. Twice. Charles, what's the political vendetta? You don't matter, dum-dum. You're a small time. You're a peon. You haven't worked. I helped you get elected. That was my job. I did my job. And that was supposed to be it. And then the rest of the time, you spend all day sitting on your fat, lazy ass, perverting around, and you don't work. So there's nothing to attack. Lazy. You're always in Oklahoma. Nobody invited you here. You got to do a police report if you're going to get a protective order. If somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest and kidnapping, you need a fucking protective order, don't you think? Should I try again? Or are you going to put me in jail for getting a protective order against you? Yeah. Okay, so this is Mike Neely's deal. Not a mark on him. The arrest report says he's got a red swollen right hand. No other injury is listed in the arrest report. Well, there's an IV in it. Maybe that's why it's red and swollen, but I guarantee you, if he really hit somebody so hard that they died of internal decapitation and the ME said it was like he was in a car crash, his hands would look like not like that, would they? If you watch the movie Creed, she says, I had to wipe Apollo's ass because his hands were so beat up he couldn't wipe his own ass. Okay, Mike is punching his own hands in this interview. I don't feel anything on my hands. I don't believe you. You're telling me that I beat Lucky to death, and I'm sorry, but I'm not seeing it. And the detective does not say, well, you got injuries here, here, and here, here. See, you guys fought. You had a drunken brawl, and you beat him to death. He didn't say that. He goes, it appears he was beat to death. Okay, that was established as fact, that Lucky Miller was beat to death. But what is not established is that he has injuries to prove he did it. The jury didn't hear me say that, and that we knew Mike was drugged beforehand. And had they heard me say that, Mr. Perry, Mr. Neely would be home. And because you kept me from testifying, you're the guilty party. Or you wouldn't care. And you wouldn't care if you're not stalking. You wouldn't be in Oklahoma all the time. You don't go, if somebody's accusing you of stalking, you don't go where the accuser is and refuse to leave. It's not like we live down the street and we're running into each other at the local grocery. You're going to thousands of miles away from your home to another state and hanging out with my family. You've caused a separation. This is now Christmas number 4. I didn't even speak to my family. Yeah, that will make you pay. Okay? Whatever you've done to cost me a loss, you're going to pay. This is the arrest report that lists nothing but a red swollen right hand on a man who beat somebody to death. Yeah, me and Mike have magic alien powers. Roswell aliens sprinkled dust on me, and I sprinkled some on Mike. We're just pull-offs, Anyway, this is my email that says he was drugged, he didn't do it. Yep, he was drugged and he didn't do it. He was given Narcan for opioid overdose. Not being knocked out, with a concussion or something. There's my testimony thingy. On and on and on it goes. Is this the one? Yeah. Mike had to be coaxed or Hansel and Greteled or begged to go because he said no and you pressured him because you had a premeditated murder. Murder in the first degree of a cop. I come from 4 generations of cops. I'm not putting up with that. If other cops want to be a coward, that's fine. I'm not going to do it. But that one guy said she's making a difference because she's not putting up with it. Things are not the same since she got here. But I have help. Please remember that. I have help that has the power to tell me Mike was drugged and get me that in jail when you did the false arrest, when I tried to get a protective order. You had me arrested for trying to get a protective order is what you did. Yep. Okay. Those are people testifying about your stalking in Manford. Pull up there and take pictures of me everywhere I go. Get in my car. That's what was reported to Mike Neely 6 days before you blew his life up. We will not forgive you. We will not. By the way, forgiveness is between me and God. It's not really any of your business. But I guarantee you, I don't forgive somebody who keeps doing the same thing. If you're really sorry, you'd stop. Otherwise, it's just words. And then we're going to send her home, harass the hell out of her, and do things like wreck her car or have her pulled over 20,000 bazillion times and harassed by the cops or traffic her and then, or try to take everything she has and blah, 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 ruin her school and separate her from her family. We're going to do things like that are causing major, profound loss most people could not handle at all, much less one after another for 10 years. And then when she tells on us, we'll say she's harassing us. We'll lie. And you said that when I was in jail for the first one. And by the way, Justice Scalia was over in West Texas where we all were at the same time when you were planning that. And he dies. And William O. Ritchie was questioning why was a protocol followed when he died like it would have been had he died in D.C. What are they hiding in West Texas? And what are they? What were you? Did you do it? Was he gonna not go your way if you did this in front of the Supreme Court? Yeah, we think you did. We really think you did. Judge Kirkendall. See, how do I'm quoting judges, Mr. Perry. And you act like you don't know. There's nothing there. Sure. While you make a bunch of phone calls asking, is it you? Is it you? You catching my crime. You stopped catching my crime. I'll make it worth your while. Right? Isn't that what you guys say? I'll make it worth your while. Uh-huh. Okay, so this is, and how do we know that? Everybody hates you. They hate y'all. All of you. People don't like crime. They don't like guys who do crime. They don't like stress. They don't like drama. They don't like loss. They don't like suffering or those who cause it. You're hated. I don't know what else to tell you. This right here is, she said, it looks to me like you're doing this. So I need to leave her alone so I can rule out entrapment and provocation. I think you're provoking. I think you're antagonizing. Every time you contact me, they make you pay. I don't want to hear it. I don't like it. I don't want to hear anything from you at all. Do you see me going down to the nut house asking those people what they think? Of course not. So why would I care what you think, John Hinckley? Yep, spent a lot of time and money getting us intel. All this intel. Because you have nothing else to show for the past 10 years of your life but this. Got us intel. Right? David's worried about the cartel. There's your names. Who's Mr. Betancourt? I've never met him. I've never met Calvin. Who are those people? Sanjay? I don't know Sanjay. Who is he? What about Monique? Who's Monique and where is she today? Messing with the wrong people, Mr. Perry, when you mess with me. Most victims don't know they've been trafficked beforehand, or that you're planning a kidnapping beforehand, or a false arrest beforehand, or a pullover beforehand. And I do. And I do every day. And you act like you're just not getting what that means. It's just not clicking for you. It's very embarrassing. So, there's that. And, okay, so we have this blog and the Facebook where we document everything. It's also documented in about 5 other places every time you make a threat. Every time the guys get you guys talking about threatening me. So those are documented there. We also have, there's the perjury and fraud that goes over the first false arrest and Justice Scalia and Mike's case. We got the human trafficking page here. He's trying to make it worse, not coming up here. That's what happens when somebody closes your phone and then they jam it up all the time. It's very frustrating. Because that should have pulled right up. Shouldn't it have? Why isn't it? I've touched this, I don't know, 50. I'm touching it now. See, it's blinking, but it's not pulling up. So, everybody note for the record, that's what Mr. Perry does in my phone. Yep, still doing it. Okay, so there's the human trafficking page where everything's just, it's kind of not very organized. This is kind of documented, every so often when there's a threat. To now the threat's kidnapping. For a while it was get her back on the stage, grab her off the stage. Mr. Perry, he just contacted me again. Every time you contact me, they make you pay. We get more. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what you think. Nobody understands why you think I do. I don't care. I'll never help you. I've never helped you in 10 years. And you continue to ask me about leaks, and that really makes everybody mad. And when people are mad, they talk. You are sick. Stop trying to talk to me. I fucking hate it. I don't care what you think, nut job. I don't care. Shut up and leave me alone. Shut the fuck up and get out of my phone. So, if I stop sometimes, it's like he acts like he thinks this is a conversation. He can't account for what he does all day with his time. Why is he always in Oklahoma? And what's he do all day when he's here? Sits around perverting, trying to talk to me. Makes us all mad. Then he makes phone calls and has meetings about what can I do today to ruin her. Get her on the stage, jerk her off the stage, put her in jail, sit her down and tell her, you got to sign my affidavit lie, and then you got to pose for these wedding photos to cover up the forgery. The forged marriage license that I signed 4 years ago. Lucky asked me about it. Did you sign a marriage license? No. Why would I do that? Did you sign it with your middle name? Well, I just said I didn't sign it. I've not even seen it. So I don't know how Charles signed it. I don't know if he put my middle name, a middle initial. I know when he types my name in my phone, he spells my name wrong. The guys are sitting there watching it. Charles, they record everything you do on my phone. Get the fuck out of my life, whack job. Shut the hell up and leave me alone. Your court order, and you're using my family to gaslight me. Get her family to tell her she has to go. Who can we get to tell her she has to go? She can't live in Oklahoma anymore. She keeps catching our crime. She's changed everything. Yeah, we heard you talking about that too. That's been recorded repeatedly, David. You never shut up about it. Okay, it's none of your. I didn't pick the fight. You did. You bother people that mind their own business. Yeah, cartel. Okay, so we got that page. We got Mike's page here. We got Charles's mental problems here, that erotomania or whatever the hell he's got. We got that. Mike's page goes over his case. More court evidence. We've got my doctor's comments. Mr. Perry, one more time, call somebody and tell them that you think I'm crazy. You're not a doctor. You are diagnosing without examining and practicing medicine without a license. My doctor saw me for 1.5 years. She said that you can't get attention. So you do things to cause harm and loss to get attention because you can't get it the normal way. You're a weirdo. So people don't like you. Okay? The false arrest you did, she said, was a stalking escalation. We found out before. The McNamara email was sent months before you did it. Okay? That's what I'm telling him. He's going to do a false arrest to try to coerce me. And then you did. So I haven't I told you so. I got a lot of those. Okay? You are not a doctor. You don't get to diagnose somebody without a license or without examining the patient. So what crime are they going to charge you with on that? Witness tampering by way of that? I think you need to call your attorney. You know, you have the right to shut up. Anything, any stupid thing you do or say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, the guys are going to get the dumbest fuck they have just for you because you're an alleged cop killer and pedophile. Dumbest one they got just for you. Okay, you got a mafia organization, maybe in the U.S., maybe not, wanting to take over your business. So by the time they make an arrest, you may not be able to afford an attorney. So I'd be very careful about who you say what to who to. Sure shit, don't talk to me because I don't want to hear it. I don't like you. I'm against you full on. Your crime has not been caught this much since you do it to me until you started doing it to me. Why is that? Mr. Perry, answer that question. Why is it different when you do it to me? Yeah. Okay, here's our disclaimer. But for Mr. Perry causing a lot of problems on purpose, intentionally, maliciously, you know, we talked about the causation, the proximate causation, the causation of everything that's going on. A pullover, late bills, you know, on and on and on and on. Missed work is you. Separation from my family is you. My family and I would be talking just fine if you weren't here causing a problem. So you're the causation, sir. And everybody hates you for it. We're getting the help because of it. And you're getting told on because of it. And why can't you get that? I don't want to hear from you. I don't give two fucks what you think. And nobody understands why you think I would. And you waving around a court order that you obtained by fraud. We have a court order. Call me. I'm going to take your car. Call me. We're going to kidnap you. Call me. I made you broke. Call me. Wow, he types that on my phone all the time. I'm like, get the fuck out of my phone. Weirdo, get the fuck out of my phone. So, okay, so there's the disclaimer. Retaliation, witness tampering, perjury, obstruction, stalking, trafficking. And there's the videos that the National Stalking Resource Center produced for cops to learn how to fight stalking crime. They're stalking to traffic. They kind of go hand in hand. This is what you're supposed to do with a police report when you get a stalking complaint or car vandalism report. Not give it to the offender so they can obstruct justice and kill a cop. The next cop that tries to help. Yeah. Alright, you see this book right here? I have this book. It was written by one of the guys who set up the profiling at the FBI. And it talks about the sexual motives behind the murder, like you saw with BTK, and that a lot of those guys are into things like voyeurism and necrophilia and bestiality and a lot of other peeping, a lot of other things. And so if you're a cop in Oklahoma, you might want to read that book because you got it here. You're dealing with it here. And tucking your tail and running is not the way you fight it. But I'll tell you what, my reputation for whatever reason has been that I've made a difference and things are different since we've been here. And I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know whether to be happy about that or sad. I'm kind of both. I have mixed feelings about it because my granddad was a policeman and his name is on the front door of the police department where he served as chief to this day. And I'm very proud of his legacy. And he went through something similar where somebody tried to ruin him. And they lied about him in the news. Because he wasn't going to put up with... There was a city councilman was having an affair with the dispatcher, and he told him to cut it out. You're taking time away from police business. Cut that the hell out. And that city councilman formed a committee on the city council to take over the police department, and then began smearing my granddad in the news and talk, oh, he's incompetent and all this shit. Guess what? Now, my granddad never apologized and he never backed off. Now, his name is on the front door of that police department to this day. And nobody remembers who that other guy is. And the same thing with the officer in the movie City of Lies, Russell Poole. They treated him like shit. They said he is crazy and all this stuff because there was corrupt cops working for Suge Knight, and they had something to do with the murders of Chris Wallace, B.I.G., and Tupac. So now we got Tupac's guy, but we still don't have Chris Wallace's guy. Why is that? But Russell Poole is a hero. Sometimes when you do the right thing, even when it's hard, your character, it'll show who you really are. Your character. You're either going to be a coward about it or you're not. And I don't have patience for people who are cowards, and I sure shit don't have patience for cops who are supposed to be held to a higher standard. Ethically, morally, and all of that. So when you got corrupt cops that are cowards and they're on the take and all this stuff, people don't like that. That's why the defunding police thing became a movement. We don't want that. That is not the answer. Defunding police is not the answer. But it did express people's frustration, and my concern is that it will continue to fester and boil until it pops like a pimple, and then you might see that it happens. And I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But then what happens is the bad cops ruin it for the good ones, and there's a lot of good ones. But maybe they need to speak out louder. Police have one job, and only one job: relieve suffering caused by crime. That is the one thing you're supposed to do all day, every day. Relieve suffering caused by crime. Believe it. So to the guys that said, no, thank you, you're our kind of people. You'll fit into our crowd perfectly. And to the guys that are a pussy and coward or on the take, I don't have any words for you. Find a different job. Find another fucking different job. You're not good enough. And if you're a cop that lives here, you got this here. Read this book. It'll help you a lot. It'll help you understand. It's profiling. The profiling FBI guy wrote it, and I think he's deceased now. But it goes through a lot of, I mean, I'm learning a lot. I'm reading the book a lot about reading a crime scene, to organized killers, disorganized killers, sexual killers, not sexual killers. That why would anyone fucking do this shit? Normal people don't do this shit. So why are they? And he kind of talks about it. It seems like childhood abuse is a big factor, and but criminologist Lonnie Athens says that only 0.1% of the population is a violent offender. 99.9, whether they are abused or not, is not. And the 99.9 doesn't want to tolerate behavior and the sick problems of the 0.1%. Our laws are in place to protect us from loss. And if you can't follow the law, then they have jail and shit. And that includes fraud upon a court, Mr. Perry. That includes when you go into court and lie, or suborn perjury, or conceal information that would have changed the outcome. There's called perjury by concealment. So every case that has been on the docket since you've started doing this to me, whether it be my 3 civil lawsuits or my traffic case or Mike Neely's case or whatever else you've done, or Judge Parker or Judge Egan's court or Judge Kirk, anywhere that I'm not supposed to know about, but I do because you're under investigation, then that's going to be used to build a criminal case against you. Why would it not? Why would it not? Every time you contact me, you piss us off. Control yourself. Get off your ass and go to Lubbock and do things you're supposed to do that you don't need lied about. Okay? I'll never help you. I didn't invite you here. I moved to get away from you and not have any kind of conflict with you. And you came up here and you didn't make everybody's life good. You made everybody's life a living hell. And so we get the help and you get told on. And it's about time you get that.